You need to overcome this sneaky roadblock if you truly want to flourish in your portrait photography business. I'm Sarah Petty, photographer and founder of one of the most profitable photography studios in the United States. And it is my passion and my mission to help photographers build a business that makes them money and puts their family first. You don't have to pick. My parents were both teachers. My dad was an entrepreneur, but he taught college for years. And I was really raised that when you get a degree, you're qualified to do something and then you can go do that. Well, that was my background. I had marketing degrees. And so when I started my photography business, all these fears and doubts crept in. We kind of call it in our community head trash. Here is a head trash can that we put the head trash in. Okay, this is head trash. All the stories we're telling ourselves. That fear of, I'm not good enough, I'm not qualified, I don't have a degree, I don't have a certification, whatever that is, that was my story too. I was not a great photographer, and that's actually the truth. I wasn't even sure how to use my studio lights when I got my first studio 2 weeks before 9/11. That's when I opened my first studio. Kind of crazy, right? But I had all these stories that I told myself that, people are going to find out I'm a fraud, because all of a sudden I have a photography business. And I thought opening that first little studio, it had bars on the windows, I thought that would make me legit, like, ooh. But I still had this imposter syndrome. It's such a real thing. Then there was Julie. I realized at some point with these two newborn twins at home, and I was opening this studio in the summer of 2001, fixing it up, knowing in the fall I was going to open it, and I realized I'm not making any money. And I have to make some changes because I've got the family first part, but I don't have the money part. And I didn't want to raise my kids the next 15, 18 years of their lives and send them off to college and not have the money to pay for it and not be able to go on vacations and do the extra things. So I sat down and I said, okay, I've got to change how I run my business. I'd been an ad agency marketing director, and I thought, okay, I know marketing. And I realized I had to make changes in pricing and everything in my system. But I went out and I got the right client. She came in, her name was Julie, and she had a new baby and she was freaking out. She's like, I love your artwork, I have to have this. And so I went through the whole system. I even talked her out of a few things because I was freaking out that she was ordering so much. And it was an $1,800 order. I had been in business for just barely anything. I'd been doing it for fun on the side for a couple years, but then I opened my studio in 2001, and that was now my career. And this was 2002, I believe, or 3. And this one client came in and gave me $1,800. And that is when everything changed. All of a sudden, I had some confidence in myself, and I thought, I maybe am not as bad as I thought. If one person will pay me this, another person will pay me, and another person, and another person. This is why we created the Julie Awards. In our community, we literally celebrate when people get their Julie. Here's Julie. Here's how I know that my Julie can impact you. Because once I got my Julie, it changed everything. And I know that if you could get a Julie too, you could convert your business to boutique where you serve your clients at a high level and someone gives you over $1,000, wouldn't you be hooked? Wouldn't you say, oh my gosh, I don't want to give digital files away anymore? Or you might say, I'm not so bad anymore. I'm actually better than I thought. I actually can serve my clients and treat them in a way that makes them feel amazing. And I can create enough value in my mind and in their mind so that they give me over $1,000. Wouldn't that be amazing? What I see with my students is they get better and better. That $1,000 turns into $1,500 and then $1,600 and $1,800 and $2,000. People keep giving them more money and hugging them and gushing on them and thanking them and referring them. How amazing would that be? So amazing. I just want you to know that I get it. Imposter syndrome is real. It affects high achievers the most, I think, because we want to know that we know every answer before we go into something. And business is a lot like having kids. If you wait to start your business or go all in on your business until you have every answer, you will literally have paralysis by analysis and you will never start. Same thing with having kids. For those of you who have kids, If you would have waited until you knew everything, I think probably just knowing about childbirth, we might not have even gone there. But we can't possibly. We make the decision to go all in and be a parent, and then we just do everything we can to make sure we're the best one we can be. Same thing in business. Going all in on yourself and realizing, all right, I don't need to fake it till I make it. I'm going to say yes to myself, and I'm going to go learn and do and implement and keep learning. Look, I still have imposter syndrome certain times. I'm not a lighting guru. I'm in this stud photography group that I got invited to be in because of my marketing abilities, because I can really add value to this group. And I'm looking at everyone's work, people who are doing the Olympics and all these high-profile national ad campaigns and the most beautiful portraiture with all these fancy lights. And I think, Sarah, you're such a fake. You shouldn't even be here. Whenever I look at other people's pricing, which I try not to do, but that's what I do, right? I'm a photography coach. I coach photographers, and I'm working with students in these huge markets in New York and LA and Greenwich, Connecticut. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm in a cornfield in Illinois and I'm more expensive than every single person. And then I realize, because I know how to run a profitable photography business, they're the ones that are underpriced. And I find ways to talk myself through it. It comes at me in all areas of life. This fall, I got to speak on the same stage as Tony Robbins at an event with 6,000 or 7,000 people, talk about being intimidated, even though I was excited and I dreamt about that. When the day comes and that music started and the smoke and I had to walk out through those doors that Tony Robbins was getting ready to walk out, I was thinking, what are you doing here? Who let you through that door? What's going on? And I know something my mentor always says is do hard things. Because when you do hard things, it increases your capacity to do more hard things, which is a good thing. So here are my top 5 tips for getting rid of imposter syndrome. We don't have to let it stall us out. All right, number 1, remind yourself that you deserve to make money in your photography business. Dentists go to school and then they go to work and they get paid for the work that they do. People who work at the school get paid for what they do. Why shouldn't we get paid for what we do? I want to read some of the things that I hear from a lot of you guys. I feel sad because I'm making money on something I would do for free. Just because we like what we do and the dentist doesn't, we shouldn't not get paid. Mom, is that right? Probably not. But you get my point. We deserve to be paid just like everyone else. People say my prices are too high. Their comments got to me about digital files. Everybody was talking about me. Or heck, the fear that people are going to talk about us. That slowed me down in the beginning because who do I think I am? I don't have a degree and I think I'm going to call myself a professional photographer. So much head trash. And it's not just other voices, it's our own voice. It's that voice we have up here, hence the head trash. We all have it. We all have the head trash. Here's the thing. You're super valuable. You're good at what you do. You put time into learning. You research. You look at your images. You work to get better. That makes you worth more. Number 2, stop comparing yourself to others. When you see people who are succeeding in their business and you think, oh gosh, they're succeeding and I'm not meant to do this. I'm not any good. Instead, reframe that to yourself and say, hey, if they're doing it, I can do it too. That's proof that the concept works. Just like people said, no one can break the 4-minute mile. And then almost the second Roger Bannister did it, other people started doing it. So look at other people and say, if they can do it, I can do it too. Look, I know it's hard. I know there's so much head trash. But look, I love talking to photographers about this thing. If you have something you want to share or a question, text me 217-888-2008. Let me know. I have so many resources and ways that I can help you too with your head trash. Number 3, stop hiding from the failure in your photography business. There's so much shame that comes around failing. And I want you to look at that a different way because in my community, what I teach my students is that failure is learning. Literally, if you're failing, you're growing. If you're not taking action and you have paralysis by analysis because you have too much head trash or you're so afraid of what people say, you're not learning. You can't learn to ride a bike by sitting in the comfort of your home, reading a book or watching videos. You got to get on the bike. You got to tip a little. That's going to happen. But every time we make a mistake or fail, we learn. When I first went into digital, got my digital camera, I was freaked out. I barely knew how to use the lights in my studio. And I'm looking at the back and I'm like, okay, there are some images here. Shooting. Well, they came back from the lab and they were so underexposed, they weren't salvageable. And the bummer is the particular client it happened on. The family that came in to be photographed, they had 2 little boys, and the stepdaughter lived with the mom in another state and rarely came home. And so I couldn't just reshoot it. It was a $5,600 order and I had to give it all back. Do you think that motivated me to be better? Heck yes, it did. I've screwed up frame orders. I've lost digital files. I've deleted them. I've had to go and fix just about everything. But you know what that did? That made me better, but it also made me not be afraid of making a mistake. I can fix it. And I work with really awesome clients who are not big jerk faces when I make a mistake. And if they are, you know what? I can only do what I can do. I'm human, you're human. Humans make mistakes. That's what we do. Number 4, accept that you're gonna make mistakes. It happens, you're gonna miss deadlines, and you might wanna write this one down. There's no such thing as a portrait emergency. While we are valuable, we're not heart surgeons. I think we're saving lives with our photography, but no one's gonna die on our table today, all right? So there's no such thing as a portrait emergency. Relax. No one's gonna die if something happens and you have to reorder their artwork or it comes late. That's part of it. You can reshoot, you can fix, you can do better. Little asterisks for you wedding photographers, have a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th shooter, have a plan B. That's different. Make sure that if you mess up, you've got a fail-safe and you've got a system in place so that someone else got the shot. What we talk about here is portrait photography. You can reshoot, okay? And like my client who left town and I wasn't able to reshoot, I gave the money back and I learned a valuable, very valuable lesson. And number 5, realize you're not for everyone, and that's okay. You're not for everyone. And I want you to know it's okay to say no. It's okay for them to tell you no. There are enough clients for you to stay in business and have a thriving photography business, no matter where you live, no matter what you do. If you take care of people and you follow a system that attracts the right clients and you serve them at such a high level, they're gonna forgive you if you make a mistake. And there are gonna be enough right fit clients that you can say no to wrong fit clients. Hey, I'd love to keep this conversation going. Text me what's up with you, 217-888-2008. I have some resources that can help you. And heck, subscribe to this channel so you can get more videos like this.